so much gratitude. And I'm not going to stand up here long because I'll get a mumbling mess. But Stephen was telling me this space was built in 2000. I'm a big person about space. And I know that there's a lot of echo here. From where I'm sitting back there, I can hear every word, even with this, and it's really quite glorious. It seems to just keep growing and growing even since last night. And being in this city, which we talked about in Knoxville at the world premiere and all the rehearsals, it was a name on a map about something that happened 150 years ago. And to be here today and to have heard those students in the cemetery, I have no words. And Chuck Yarbrough and Lori, where are you, Lori? Lori's her beats. I was with Lori and Alisa at the cemetery, and Chuck Yarbrough, their professor, and Lori is their professor as well. And each time we went through those stations and those stories that they wrote themselves based on their own research and brought us into this story, which is all part of a much bigger story that keeps growing alive for me since I began this work. And it didn't begin with me. It began in Knoxville with the board of directors, much like you have here, who had a vision to honor their conductor. And I just tried to learn and listen. And they guided me. Many of them, our board members in Knoxville, they had their history passed down to them in Knoxville. And Knoxville is one of those rare places where there were families, churches who worshiped together, whose men went off to fight wearing blue in some parade. And I'm from South Arkansas, direct line from here, only 200 miles. And so I'm in a town, I was born in a town, much like Columbus. And when I moved to Knoxville 30 years ago, this was told to me, I said, really, are you sure? Well, yes. Lincoln had a cabinet member from Missouri whose had 3 foursomes. Three of them fought for the North. One of them fought for the South. And so I'm so grateful to the people of Columbus for supporting you, your board members, Stephen, Roger, Ron. I haven't seen Ron yet. Is he here? There you are, Ron. Ron, I met all of you in New York. Lori. I left out board members.
There's Michael over there.
Michael, where's Michael? Oh yes, Michael, I know you're a board member. We talking. They were all in New York. With all due respect to Manhattan and this hall we sang in. This today, being here in this city, in this magical place where history is alive, has meant more to me than you can possibly imagine, because I've lived with this for so long. And I'm so looking forward to tomorrow night, and I'll just sit down here in a minute. And I recognized Alisa. I recognized early on that she had an unbelievable gut vision to bring this here. And I said, oh, are you sure you want to do this? And our board member said the same thing. And to see this come off and what we've been treated to, those of us out of this reception today, it's just been so beautiful, and we thank you, all of you in Columbus. Raise your hand if you live here. I want to look at you all in the eye and just say thank you so much. I want to thank the 4 people who drove 800 miles from Florida. Dear friend of mine I've known for almost 35 years, if not longer. All my friends who came from Maryville and Tennessee, thank you. No short drive here. So this is your very special to me. And she is the only person on the planet who, as of tomorrow night, will have sung in every single performance since the world premiere of Chronicles of Blue and Gray. And her name is Luann Nicole. I'm going to say that name. And would you please stand? Guy in the choir who he kind of spent, he's right there.
No, you can't go anywhere yet. Stay right here.
Oh, in Knoxville? Oh, what are you Joe, hey, Joe, please help me.
He said to me, and I know he was just kidding, but I did it anyway. He said, I wish I could get some of the sod and the dew and take it home with me. So I dug up some sod. Invited to go to New York and perform in Carnegie Hall was something I never thought I was going to be able to do living in a small town like this. I thought that was just for the big wigs who've got all the breaks in life. So you gave us the biggest break of our life, and we could not have been doing this here without you finding us. And so when we got home from New York, all of us that went to New York went to Friendship Cemetery, had this picture taken, and we did this collage and signed it for you because we are so